Morning, dear students. I really welcome all of you. And today's class is for class 8 again. I'm happy to be with you. And we are going to discuss a very, very important subject today. And that is related to grammar. So what is the topic that we are going to discuss? It is the subject and verb agreement. I repeat, the topic is subject and verb agreement. This topic is a very important topic because you will be learning about this in class 9, class 10 and even after that. Because this particular topic forms the basis of English grammar, right? So, anyone who learns grammar, any student of English will have to be familiar with the subject and the verb, because without that there is no language. That is actually the backbone of grammar or backbone of any language, the subject and the verb. The verb talks about an action and the subject talks about as to who is performing that action. So doer of the action is the subject. So the subject should agree with the verb. The subject should agree with the verb. For example, a singular verb will take a singular subject. A plural subject will take a plural verb. I remind you once again, or I repeat, a singular subject will take a singular verb and a plural subject will take a plural verb. For example, what are the singular verbs and what are the plural verbs? Is a singular verb. Are is a plural verb. Has is a singular verb. And have is a plural verb. So you must be familiar with these forms of the verb, which is a singular verb and which is a plural verb. I repeat, is a singular verb, are is a plural verb, has is a singular verb, have is a plural verb. Now, I will give you some examples to prove how the verb agrees with the subject. You look at this sentence, he has done it. I have used he as the subject here. But you see the verb that the subject takes, it is a singular verb. Why? He is a singular subject and has is a singular subject. Verb. So the singular subject he takes the singular verb has. This is the most important thing, most important rule, so to say. I have often seen students getting mixed up with this. They make a mess out of it. What is a mess that they make? They use a singular subject, but they use a plural verb. They use a plural subject and they use a singular verb. So it should not be contradictory. A singular subject will always take a singular verb and the plural subject will always take a plural verb. So you see here, they is a plural verb and have is a plural, they is a plural subject and have is a plural verb. The boy sings. Look at the verb that I have used. The boy is a singular subject and the verb is sings. Why did I use the word sings? And why did I not use the verb sing? Because third person singular. The boy is third person singular. And therefore, the singular subject takes a singular verb. Now look at the next sentence. I am changing the subject into plural. The boys. So it is not sings here. The boys sing. So a plural subject takes a plural verb. The singular subject takes a singular verb. This is the basic rule. Now, let me give you some more examples. The teacher teaches. The teacher teaches. The teacher is a singular subject and teaches is a singular verb. But if I change the subject into plural, teachers, this is plural. And here it would be teach. So keep this rule in mind. This is the most important rule. This is actually the fundamental rule of grammar. Singular subject will always take a singular verb and a plural subject will always take a plural verb. Has is a singular verb, have is a plural verb. Is a singular verb or is a plural verb. So keep this in mind. Now I come to another important rule. But you have to listen carefully, otherwise you will miss out the point. Two positions held by one person. Now for example, the chairman and principal. The chairman and principal has come. This is absolutely correct. Why do I say this is right? Because you should not get confused here. You may think the chairman is one subject and the principal is another subject. No, it is not to be taken that way. The chairman and principal, it's not two different persons, but it is only one person. The chairman is a principal as well. So two positions held by one person. And you're not supposed to get confused here, thinking that the chairman is a subject and the principal is another subject. No. How do I know that these two positions are held by one person? Because you have the article the in front of the chairman, but in front of the principal, you don't have the article the. I repeat, in front of the chairman, you have the definite article. But in front of the principal, you don't have the definite article. So the definite article is used only once, which means both the positions are held by one person. So I have used the singular verb. The chairman and principal. One person holding two posts, two designations has come. Now look at this sentence. The chairman and the principal. Now here it should be have come. The chairman and the principal have come. Why did I use have here? What is the purpose? Because here the chairman is one person and the principal is another person. So there are two people. How do I know that there are two people? The definite article is used before every subject. The definite article is used before every subject. It is used before the chairman and it is used before the principal. So two definite articles. Therefore, it is have. Have is a plural verb. When one person holds two different posts, the verb is singular. When two people hold two different posts, it is plural. So keep this in mind, right? Two positions held by one person, singular verb. Two positions held by two people, it is plural. Is that clear? Okay. We move on to the last rule. Sorry, last one rule. That is either or. Listen very carefully. Subject and verb agreement requires a lot of study, careful understanding of the rules. Either or. What do you mean by either or? Either this or either that. So either John or Mohit is absent. Look at the sentence carefully. Either John or Mohit is absent. I have used the helping verb is. Why? When you use two different subjects with either or, the verb is singular. Always remember, when you use two singular subjects with either or, the verb is singular. I repeat, when two singular subjects are used with either or, the verb is singular. Either John or Mohit is absent. Now look at this sentence. Either the teacher or the students are absent. Look at this rule. This is a very important rule again. Either the teacher or the students. I am using are. Why did I use are? Because the last subject is a plural subject. When you use a plural subject at the end with either or, the verb remains plural. Keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. Take a careful note of this. So I differentiate both the rules once again. When two singular subjects, either John or Mohit, two singular subjects, is absent. Either John or Mohit is absent. So the helping verb is singular because two singular subjects connected by either or. But look at the second rule. Look at it carefully. Either the teacher or the students are absent. Here I used a plural verb. But why did I use a plural verb? I used a plural verb because the last subject is a plural subject. So the rule is two singular subjects connected by either or takes a singular verb. One singular subject and a plural subject at the end used together will take a plural verb. So we will always see the last subject. See whether it is singular or plural. That is the rule. That exactly is the easiest way to remember this rule. So the last subject is a plural subject and therefore I use a plural verb. Now I move on to the last rule. There are many rules related to subject and verb agreement, but we are going to discuss them in parts, not all at the same time. It might be too difficult for you to understand. The last rule for today is sometimes two things are considered as one. For example, bread and butter. Bread always goes with butter. So, bread and butter is my food. Don't think that bread is a singular subject and there is butter which is another subject. Don't take them to be two different subjects. They appear to be two, but in fact they are one. So bread and butter is my food. Not bread and butter are my food. The lock and key. The lock cannot remain without a key. The key goes with the lock. But this doesn't mean that there are two subjects. The lock is a subject and the key is accompanying that. So the lock and key, though they appear to be two objects, they are not two objects, but it is a singular kind of subject. The lock and key is on the table, is correct. The lock and key is on the table is right. But if you say the lock and key are on the table, definitely wrong. So bread and butter, lock and key, horse and carriage. The horse and carriage, horse and the carriage. A carriage is useless without a horse. And a horse, when attached to a carriage, makes a complete subject. So, the horse and carriage has come. It does not have come. So, cup and saucer is on the table. The lock and key is on the table. The horse and carriage has come. Bread and butter is my food. So, there are some things which go in pairs, and when they go in pairs, they have to be treated as singular subject. Therefore, a singular verb is used. So, today we have had some idea about the subject and verb agreement. Remember, the subject should always agree with the verb. a singular subject takes a singular verb, a plural subject takes a plural verb. The second point is sometimes subjects go in pairs. So when they are taken in pair, the verb is singular. Then either or, when two singular subjects are connected by either or, verb is singular. When one singular subject and one plural subject is connected by either or, then the verb is plural. So I hope you might have at least understood a bit of what I taught today. Must have had a clear picture. And in the forthcoming classes, we will have more examples and more rules to discuss. Till then, you keep reading these rules, revising these rules. I will give you some exercises as well. Please do that. So, with this we wind up. Till we meet again, goodbye. Stay safe and keep working hard.